Hello everyone, welcome back to Nando Design Journey. Today, I will design a customized ice cream page with Adobe XD. In this video, you will see my design process, from wireframe to high-fidelity prototype. Let's get started. First, I'm gonna create a 375 by 812 artboard. Before starting to draw anything, I like to set up some guides. I will leave enough space for the notch on top of the foam and the side space. I simply drag from both sides, about 25 points from the left and right, and 40 points from the top. I'm gonna start off the wireframe with a welcome message. And I'm gonna make this 48 points high for now and align it to the guides in the top left corner. I'm going to fill it with gray and change its opacity to 50%. Hold Option, click, and drag to create a duplicate. Change its height to 18 points. These are two placeholders for the welcome message. Below this, I'm going to create the search bar. I'm gonna make it 36 points high. The radius for corners is 10. I'm gonna drag out a decent sized card. Something like this. I change its height to 320. And then add the radius to it, 10 points. Remove the border and fill it with preset color and change its opacity to 50%. Ctrl-C and Ctrl-V duplicate this card and change its height to 220. I'm going to get rid of two bottom fillets. The rectangular actually is a placeholder for an image. I like to leave some spaces inside of the card. The margin is 16 points wide on both sides. Then, I'm gonna create a 26 high placeholder for card title. Change its color and opacity as before. Hold Option, click, and drag to create a placeholder for card description. Duplicate these card elements one more time for the recommendation. Duplicate the placeholder of description. It will be the caption of these cards. Then, duplicate the title of the above cards. Below this, we have a production list with production image and call to action button. I'm going to drag an image placeholder. Its size is 72 by 66. Fill it with preset gray. Reduce its opacity to 50%. And check the border. The radius for corners is 4. There will be 3 lines next to it. There are product name, reviews, and description from top to bottom. Then, I will make a 30 by 30 placeholder for call to action button. Fill it with 50% preset gray. Right align it with the guide. And draw a line as a separator. We've got this layout here. I'm gonna repeat this layout down the page. We don't have to copy and paste these loads and loads, so that we can select everything and click on Repeat Grid. And you will see that you get these 2 handlebars to appear. You can drag this down. I'm gonna rename it as Home. Then, we moved on to the second artboard, the transitional page. First, create a new artboard. Leave margins as what we did for the home page. Option and drag to duplicate the welcome message. Then, drag out a rectangular which will place an ice cream photo later, something like that. Fill it with gray and change its opacity to 50%. Tap in Transitional. Finally, we will move on to the customized page. Create a new artboard as before. Change its name to Product Page. Then, leave enough space for margin. The first line is for the flavor name. The second line will be Review Starts, 18 points high. It's followed by ice cream price and calories. Actually, price is one of the most essential attributes on product page, so I make it a little bit bigger. The selling point of this design is customers can browse ice cream flavor by swiping the images. I will place the interactive ice cream here. To make sure the image sizes are exactly same, I duplicate the rectangular to the transitional page from product page. Don't forget another important element of the product page, call to action button. Its size is 30 by 30. Fill it with gray and change its opacity to 50% one more time. It will align with the guide. I will add 2 arrows on both sides to convey the swipe functionality clearly. The size of the placeholder is 18 by 18. Fill it with gray and change its opacity to 50%. Next, I'm gonna create 2 buttons. They are 30 by 30. One is Edit, the other is Delete. If customers wanna change the flavor, they can press these buttons. Now we have a decent shaped wireframe. We will go ahead and turn in the wireframe into a high-fidelity design. The first thing I'm going to do is adding text. I'm gonna grab T on the keyboard for the tab tool. I will type in "Hi, sweetie!" as the welcome message. Then finish all the text, which I prepared before. This is an app for purchasing ice cream. I want people feel clean and cute, so I use Helvetica Uni. There are 5 font categories in this design. Text like "Hi, sweetie" is supposed to be obvious, so I change it to bold and scale it up to 40 points. There are 3 alt-height text containers: alt-width, alt-height, and fixed size. We'll use alt-height in this design. Which flavor do you want for today is secondary, so the font is 14 regular. Apply alt-height to it as well. I'm gonna make search to 16 points. Apply alt-height to it, same as before. Create your own flavor is the title for the cart. It's a heading. I will adjust it to 20, bold. Our favorites is a caption. I will scale it down to 12. Change it to uppercase and select auto-height. Then we'll move on to the product list. Super Lemon is the product name. It should be clear and readable, but not too obvious. So I will use medium. Apply auto-height to it. Finally, for the caption, I will apply 12 points. Apply auto-height to it. As I mentioned, for the product page, price is one of the most important attributes. So I change it from 20 to 24. Select all text and apply auto-height. Select all text and change its color to black. I prefer to use number 333333 rather than 6 zeros. Select all text which I added, and right-click, select Add Character Style to Assets. Our typo system has been set up. For caption, it's supposed to be 14 points and regular. The top 5 flavor is the heading. I will apply 20 bold to it. We can apply the styles to them as per their functionality. I will apply the typo system to all text. Next, I will replace the placeholders with the actual text. First, I'm gonna place the text on its placeholder inaccurately. For second round, I will adjust the placements accurately. Center align the text with its placeholder and then delete the gray placeholder. It will take me some time to finish it. After adding text, I'm gonna grab Nucleo. It's a program that allows me to download icons and use them in our design. 6 icons will be used in this design. I just tap in Cards, and you can see many different styles of cards. I'm gonna use this outline version card. Click it and drag it into XD. It's convenient. Then I kept searching, clicking, and dragging icons of star, magnifier, pen, bin, and arrow. After inserting these icons to XD, I'm gonna make them as components one by one. And change their names based on its graphic. First, I will drag magnifier into the search bar. It should align with the guides on the left side. The icon size is a little big, and I'm gonna scale it down 16 by 16. Move the stick to the appropriate place. Center the icon with the search bar horizontally. Make text 8 points away from the magnifier. Then, I will work on the product list. Paste a star inside of the group. Make it align with placeholder. Click and drag to duplicate 4 more stars. The distance between them is 3 points. Then, copy these 5 stars and paste them to the product page. Center the star with placeholder horizontally. Next, I will work on Add to Cart button. First, resize it to 18 by 20. Place the bike icon in the middle of the placeholder. Click the gray square, and you can see there are 4 white circles inside of it. Select one and drag your mouse. The square gradually changes to a circle. I will use Command X to cut it and Command V to paste it into the group. Place the icon in the center of the circle. The outline is a little bit thick, so I change it to 1.5. Make sure the bike icon is in the middle of the placeholder. Now, the tab area is 30 by 30. It's kinda small, so I change it to 36 by 36. Make sure the icon be placed in the middle of the circle. Reduce the bike outline thickness to 1.5 as well. Copy this button and paste it to the product page as well. Then, I will add arrows and edit buttons to the product page. Scale the arrow up to 12 by 18. In terms of a backwards arrow, just duplicate the forward arrow and rotate it 180 degrees. Center the pen and bin icon with their placeholders. Everything looks good. We just need to finish the images. With the magic of editing, I went through and added images. It looks a little bit more realistic. The interface looks weird and dirty with this dark gray. First, I will change the search bar to light gray by decreasing the opacity. I'm gonna fill cards with white. It doesn't look like cars because the car's color and background color are the same. To make the difference, I want to add shadow to them. Check shadow. Change the parameter to 0828. To increase the color contrast, I will get a light gray background. Draw an artboard size rectangular and arrange it to back. Then change the fill color to gray. Finally, to improve the brand identity, I will apply a preset candy pink to all icons. Select the icon which you want to change color, then click preset color. Change outline icon's color to white. Switch color of other buttons, stars, and hiding to pink. Done. It looks like we are ready to prototype this up and add some group scrolling. The idea of this design is after clicking the customized card, the ice cream will be enlarged and the colorful background disappears. Then the customer will be directed to the product page and change the ice cream flavor. To have this gradual transition, I duplicate the home page. Delete everything except the ice cream and colorful background. Because the destination is the third page, I will use its ice cream as a reference. Paste it to the new transitional artboard and lock it. Next, I will resize the background to fill the entire artboard. To change the ice cream efficiently, I lock the background as well. To make sure the size of the two ice creams are exactly the same, I will resize the dash line, ice cream scoop, and cone separately. Only turn on the layers that you want to change. Unlock the reference and delete them. I use the same methods to resize the ice cream on the product page. I'm gonna prototype this swipe effect. Select everything on the page except the cone. Then hold Option create two duplicates of this group. And delete R2 Cards button. We will draw in other images and change the flavor name as per its image. To make the app looks more realistic, I also change the price and calories. I will make each flavor as a group. Adjust the distance among these three groups. Make them be closer. We just need to grab these three groups to apply the scroll effect, and we have three options. We're going to do with the horizontal scroll group. You can see right away we have these boundaries. Resize the border to align with the left side of the artboard. Let's go to the preview mode and see how it looks like. One problem is the yellow group stops in the middle of nowhere. It's supposed to stop at the center of the artboard. To solve this problem, I will drag a rectangular and move it to the yellow group's right side. Uncheck the border and fill. We can't see it, but the rectangular is still there. It's exactly what I want. It looks weird if the text and R2 Cart button are overlapped. To avoid this problem, I will add a white block. Remove its border, The call to action button is below the white rectangular, so I'm gonna rearrange the layer sequence. Bring the button to the front. Drag the rectangular align with the right side of the artboard. Let's go to the preview mode and see how it looks like. Looks good. The product name can be shown a little bit earlier. I need to resize the white block horizontally. Let's go to the prototype mode. Select the customized card and connect it to the transitional page 1. I didn't change anything. Let's play it and see how it looks like. Looks good. Next, I will connect this to transitional page. Change trigger to time and action type to auto animate. Because we want to switch to the third page automatically. The duration is too short. I will use 0.6 seconds rather than 0.2 seconds. Let's see what will happen. Looks better. I will change its action type to auto animate. And easing to is in and out. Looks better. By tapping the scoop, customers will be directed to the product page, and they can choose the scoop flavor. To finish this effect, I will connect the scoop transitional page to the product page. That's it. It's really easy, right? Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe and hit the bell icon. See you next week. Bye bye.